In today's video, I show you how to install and configure Homarr. Simplify the management of your server with Homarr, a sleek, modern dashboard that puts all of your apps and services at your fingertips. Give your Unraid server a home with Homarr. And we'll go from this to this. Let's get started. We're going to start off by going to the Apps tab, and in the search box, we're going to search for Homarr, Homarr. You'll find Homarr listed in the list here. Go ahead and click Install. We're going to leave the name alone. Repository is fine. Network type is fine. Shell command is fine. Scroll down a little bit. First thing we're going to come across here is the web UI port. We didn't get an alert saying that it was in use, but I always like to double check just to make sure. So I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom and expand Show Docker Allocations. Go back up, find that port number, double click on it, hit Control F on the keyboard, and it shows one result. So we're good to go. If you find your port's in use and you need to change it, go ahead and just increment it by one, make it 10,005. If that one's in use, just keep going until you find a free one. Next down, we've got storage. That's where the app data for Homarr is going to go, and that's exactly where we want it. So we're going to leave it alone. Scroll down a little bit. Next, we're going to have the secret encryption key. If you read through this orange text here, the last line here tells you how to go generate that. Open a shell and copy the output of this command into this field. So let's go do that. In the top right, I'm going to click on the terminal icon to open up a new terminal window. In here, you're going to type in OpenSSL space rand or a random number space dash hex space and then 32. Then press enter, and it will output a nice alphanumeric string. We're going to copy that. Then we can exit out of the window, type exit, hit enter, go back down to your secret encryption key field and paste that in. Scrolling down, you'll find that pretty much everything else here all deals with authentication. And if you're trying to get into Homarr from the outside, you definitely want to put in some authentication here. I don't ever do that. I just access it internally. So we really don't need to bother with anything else here. And we can always come back here later on if you need to and put in some authentication settings. So for now, I'm going to scroll all the way down. I'm going to hide the Docker allocations and then hit apply. Wait for it to pull the container down and get a sip of tea. When that's all done, go ahead and click done. Now from here, we're going to go click on the Docker tab and then find Homarr on the list. Over on the right-hand side, we're going to turn auto start to on. Next, we're going to go over to the Homarr icon, click on it, drop down and select web UI. We're at the welcome to Homarr page. So here we're going to select our language, which for me, English, several to choose from. You can choose which theme you want. You can do light or dark. I really don't like the blinding white light, so I'm going to go to dark, leave it there. And then to get started, please select how you want to set up your Homarr instance. We can either import from Homarr before 1.0, and if you're looking to upgrade from Homarr, then you can just do this. You got to grab the JSON file and attach it. But I'm assuming you're looking to set it up from scratch, so let's start there. Start from scratch. Now we need to create a username and a password. For my username, I'm going to choose demo, give me a nice password, and then hit create user. We've got the option here to send anonymous analytics. And this is entirely up to you. I'm going to leave it on. I encourage you to enable analytics because it helps their open source team to prioritize items to fix. Crawling and indexing, same type of thing. I'm going to leave it on defaults. Once you've made your selections, go ahead and hit continue. Now that we've got an account created, let's go ahead and create our first board. Click on this option right here, create your first board, and you come into the board section. So let's create a couple boards real quick just to have something to put data into. So in the top right, go ahead and click new board. And I'm going to name this one desktop. Then under column count, we can adjust the columns. This is how many items are in each column across the screen. Right now it's set at 10. And in my experience, that's been fine. We can always adjust this later on if we need to. Got the option to make this board public. I don't want to make it public. I just want it to be for my own use. So I'm going to leave that off and then hit create. All right, let's create another board for our mobile devices. So go ahead and hit new board. I'm going to name this one mobile. And the column count here, 10 columns on a mobile screen is probably a bit much. I'm going to drop this down to 2. Once again, I'm going to leave public off and then hit create. Now we've got 2 different boards set. We've got a desktop one for your home stuff and one for mobile devices. Let's go ahead and set each one accordingly. Click on these series of 3 dots. You can set this one as your home board. And if you notice, it's already set that way, but we'll click it anyhow. Over on the mobile one, drop down 3 dots, set this as your mobile board. Let's start working with our desktop board a little bit. We can click on the 3 dots again. We'll go down to settings. For the page title, up here, right now we've got this nice little Homarr crab icon and the word Homarr. Let's change that. So page title, I'm going to change mine to AT42. Then underneath there, we've got the option to add a logo. You can either upload your own or you can drop down and select one that Homarr's got in a predefined list. So I'm going to scroll through here. I'm going to choose 42, which was very convenient for the channel. Once you're happy with the settings there, go ahead and hit Save Changes. Now let's go through some of the other options below. Layout. This is where you can adjust the column count. So if you decided you wanted more or less columns, you can just come here and adjust, slide it accordingly. Background. With Homarr, you can decide to put backgrounds on your boards, which is kind of nice. And I'll show you that later on. But this is where you do that at. You can adjust image sizes and the different layouts of them. But I'm going to leave everything here on recommended settings. Next down, we've got appearance. If you want to set the primary and secondary colors, you can just select the box, choose from any color imaginable. Same with icon color. And the item radius, you can adjust that as well. Each little item, as we add it in, is going to have a little box or big, however you make it. It's just the radius on the corners. You can add custom CSS stuff, behavior, access control. You can assign different users to different boards. So some people can have access to some things, but not others. You can group users, and you can have inherited groups. Just me using it, so I'm going to continue on. Last option here is the danger zone. You can delete the board here. Obviously, that deletes it, gets rid of it. Change the name. If you notice this here, it says changing the name will break any links to this board, so be cautious with that. Now that we're done with the board settings, let's go to the top right. We'll click on our avatar icon. In this case, it's just the initials. Drop down and select your preferences. Here's where you can change the settings for your user. You can change the username, add in an email. The home board, you can decide which ones you want. I only have the 2, but if you had more, you could select individual people's home boards. Default search engine, 3 come by default. We'll just grab Google, call it good. First day of the week, there's a calendar feature within Homarr. If you wanted to have the first of your week start on a Sunday, you can just select that. Once again, at the bottom, you've got the danger zone. Once you've made any changes, go ahead and hit save. Now let's go take a look at the left side of the screen. Top option is home. If you click onto that, you'll find like a nice little home banner. It's currently showing that we've got 2 boards, 1 user, with no invites, no integrations, no apps, and 2 groups. These things you can get to on the side over here as well. So if you clicked on boards, it's going to go to boards. Same thing. Users, it's going to go to users. Kind of makes sense. Let's just keep going down the left side. On boards, this is where we originally came into Homarr at. If you want to create another board, this is where you'd go. Create new board, follow the prompts. Next down, we've got apps. There's no apps here yet, so let's go ahead and add one. On the right, click on new app, give it a name. Let's go ahead and do Sonarr first. And you'll see it, Homarr automatically grabs what it thinks the proper icon for it is. If you look at this, this is not Sonarr's icon. So if that's not correct, you can just delete out this line here. And then you can choose from a number of different icons available. If you still don't find it in here, you have the option to upload, but I don't have that icon and there's another way to get it. So we'll just go with whatever comes up default here. Take this back out. Oh, look at that. That time it worked. And I have found that if you do it a couple times, sometimes it won't grab it, other times it will. So once you're happy with the icon, you can continue on, put in the description. I'm going to put in here Sonarr Media Server. Sounds good. So for the URL field here, it's going to be the URL for your Sonarr server on your server. And it's going to include the port number. So I just went to my Sonarr, grabbed the address, copied and pasted. But it's going to be http:// the IP address of your server, the port number for Sonarr, and then a /. Now from here, we've got 2 different options. We can either just hit create and it makes that app, or we can do create and start over, which is going to allow us to create another one. So we'll do that option. Then I'm going to do Radarr. Did not find the right icon. Let's try it again. Nope, I got to get rid of this stuff. Try it again. Nope, still not the right icon. Not going to worry about it. We can change that later. I'm going to call these 2 apps good. So I'm going to hit create, then we'll go with that. And there you go. Your first 2 apps are connected. And I had said that this icon is incorrect. Let's go fix that. We'll click on the little edit icon over here, the little pencil. We'll take this out again. There you go. That time it worked. And what I did there was just copy the name Radarr and then pasted it back in. And I think what it might be doing is it's reading each character as you type it out. It gets to Radarr with 1 R and it thinks it knows what it is, so it throws up the result. So by copying and pasting, it's getting all the characters at once. And apparently it worked this time. So, all right, that's good. Let's hit save. Now you can see the proper icons for both. Adding all your apps one by one is a bit of a pain. There's another way to do it down here under tools, which we'll get to in a moment. For now, let's go down to integrations. It says there's no integrations yet. Let's go ahead and create one. We'll do new integration. Let's do deluge. Put in the URL for deluge, which is http:// the IP address of your server, followed by colon, and then the port number for deluge. The default one is 8112. Next down under secrets, it wants the password for deluge so that Homarr can actually talk to it and get results and display it for you. So just go ahead and type in the password that you have for deluge in there. Below that, you've got the option to create an app. If you don't have an app for it yet, you can just put a check mark in here. You can put in the URL for it, which we've already got here, so we don't need to put it there. Once you've got everything set up, go ahead and hit test connection and create. Connection successful, and there's your new integration. Let's do one for SAB as well. New integration, SAB NZBD. All right, grab the URL, paste that in. API key. If you don't know what your API key is for SAB NZBD, let me go ahead and show you that real quick. Tell that to upgrade and get a drink of tea. To get the API out of SAB, you go to the little gear icon in the top right. In there, you're going to go to General, scroll down, look for Security. Down in there, you'll find the API key. We'll click into that field, highlight everything, copy it, go back to Homarr, and we'll paste that in. Then hit Test Connection. Whoa, I'm going to create an app with it as well. There we go. Now we'll test connection and create. Connection was successful, and there's SAB. I've got more connections I can make, but for now, we're just going to move on. Let's go down to search engines. Here, you can select a new search engine. If you had a large number of search engines in here, you could use the search feature up here to find the one you're looking for. If you wanted to create a new one, you click New Search Engine, you put in the name, you put in the information that you need, and then you hit Create. I'm just going to leave it on the 3 defaults here and call it good, and we'll move on. Next, we'll have medias. Medias are a place that you can put media into so that Homarr can use it if you want to set up backgrounds or different things like that. Let's show you that real quick. We'll click Upload Media. We'll select this one here that I named Homarr Background, and we'll hit Open. You'll see it shows up there. Now you've got your first media item in there. Let's carry on and go down to Users. It's just me using it, so I'm going to leave it alone here. But if you have more people you want to access it, you can go ahead and create users. You can send out invites, create groups. All right, next down we have Tools. This is kind of nice. Several things you can work with, but let's go to Doctors first. Here you can toggle to select everything or deselect everything, or you can just go through and select whichever ones you like. So for me, I'm going to go through and grab a couple here. I don't need Unpacker on the list here. Kapower we'll leave. Homarr we've already got running, so we don't need that. Adminer, Prowler, Deluge we've already got. Lidarr, Radarr, Sonarr we've got. Overseer, let's add that one. Audio Bookshelf, and let's call that good. We could add more, but that's good for now. Once you're happy with your selections, go back to the top. You'll find this item up here in this bar, Add to Homarr. So it's going to create them and add them to Homarr all at once. Now we've got the option here to set the URLs. By default, everything here looks to be 0.0.0.0. Change that to your server's IP address. Bookstack, I'm not going to worry about that one right now. I can fix it later. And Calibur's port number is 8082. At least that's what mine is. Go ahead and hit Add. Added to Homarr. Now if we go back to apps up here, you'll see that they're all in there now. Makes it much quicker. Looks like these icons and names here are not quite right, so let's go fix that. We'll find one that's not right. We'll go over to the pencil icon to edit it. Click on the pencil. We'll get rid of the URL field here because that is not correct. We'll type in Bazaar again. That looks better. For description, I'll just put in here basically what it does. Subtitles. Subtiles? No. There we go. That's good. Hit save. That one's correct. What else do we have on the list here? Lidarr. Let's go fix that one. This is Lidarr. That one's correct. That's music. Get rid of this. Changed Overseer. Didn't like that one. Try it again. Paste it in. There we go. Save. No, I forgot to give it a description. No big deal. Prowler. Paste that one in. That's right. We'll make that a capital P and hit save. There we go. Everything should be fixed. You've got a page 2 down here. Let's see if there's anything over there. Bookstack. I'm not going to worry about that. Everything looks good for now. All right, let's keep going down over on the left side here. APIs for different API calls. Logs. This is where you go to look at the logs at. Apparently I'm unauthorized. There we go. Certificates, tasks. Tasks is kind of nice to know about. Homarr's got different tasks that run at certain time intervals. You can see analytics ran last time was 35 minutes ago. Icons updater, 35 minutes ago. You can click on the little play button and it'll go run that task right now. It's running, takes a second or two, should end here shortly. All right, now that we've got some apps and some integrations added, let's go set up our first page. Originally, what I wanted to do was to create a nice home page, and then that way I could just import it and show you how it works, show you all the stuff at once, not have to sit here and watch me put everything in. But there's no export or import option for the newer version of Homarr. So with that being said, let's just go build a basic one here. Then I'll pause it and build it some more. Then we'll come back and talk about it. So to do that, let's go up to boards. We'll find our desktop board here. Let's start with that one. We're going to click open board. And here's your first board, nice blank slate. The top right, if you click on the pencil icon, that allows you to edit the board. The plus right next to it, click onto there. Now you've got the option to add an item, which we're going to do. We have no items on the board yet. Let's add an app. We're going to need to add several of these, so let's just go back there, do another new item, app, add to board, another one, new item, add to board. And we'll start there. Now, if you hit the pencil icon again, it's going to save the board, and these are uneditable. You can't move them. You can't do anything with them. To re-edit them, click on the pencil again. Now, in the top corner, you'll see a series of 3 dots. Once you click on those dots, you can edit the item. We can choose an app, and these apps are going to be the apps that we already assigned to Homarr, so it's going to show you the ones that it knows about. So let's choose some R applications. Let's do Lidar. You also have the option to create an app on the fly. Below, you've got some basic settings. You can open it in a new tab, show only the app name. I'm going to leave everything at the defaults and just hit Save Changes. There's Lidar. Let's go create the next one. We'll go Edit. We've already got Lidar. Let's do Radarr. Save. Let's grab Sonarr for the next one. And what else we got? Oh, let's do SpeakR. Where are you at? There it is. Save. And we're going to add one more for Radarr. Save. There we go. So now that we've got some basic apps in here, let's go ahead and save it real quick. So we'll hit the pencil to get out of edit mode. It's saved. Let's go back in there now. Click on the plus. New item. Let's see what else we have. We've got the option to add a bookmark. Let's do that. Add to board. That one's there. We'll come back and edit that in a minute. Calendar. We'll add a calendar. Current media server status. If you had Plex or Jellyfin connected, you could show the current media status. So if somebody's watching an episode of something or a movie, it will show you what they're watching. It's kind of nice. Date and time. Nope, wrong icon. There we go. All right, let's add another one. DNS holes, download clients. We'll add that. Another one. New item. What else we got here? Iframes, index managers, media request lists. That's for Overseer or for Jellyseer. Media transcoding, Minecraft server status. There's lots of stuff. Network controller. If you have a unified controller, you can have that displayed as well. Network status, notebook. We'll add a notebook. Let's see what else we've got to add. Stock prices. Sure, we'll add that. System health. Video streams. If you have video cameras, you can put a stream right into your homepage here. One of these days, I'll do a video on that. We'll get that done. All right, I think that's good. Let's go ahead and just polish this up a bit now, make it look better. All right, first of all, let's just save it real quick just to make sure everything's there. Get back in edit mode. And now that I've got this, it's kind of a mess. Let's go ahead and see if we can clean this up a little bit. To move these around, once you're in edit mode, you can just click on the item, drag it to wherever you'd like. In the corner here, you can adjust the size of it. It's pretty dynamic. I'm just going to move these out of the way for now, like that. This we're going to put at the bottom later. First of all, this one is bookmarks, so let's move this over in the top corner here. So let's go ahead and add some bookmarks to it. I'm going to hit the 3 dots and go to edit item. The title, let's call it bookmarks so we know what it is. The layout, you can change it to vertical, grid, horizontal, whatever you'd like. I'm going to just leave it in vertical. You can hide the titles, hide the icons. There's different options here. I'm just going to leave it on defaults. Hit add bookmark. And now we can select which bookmark app we want to add to it. Just going to add a couple here from the list. Go back to add, grab the next one, add, next one, and one more. We'll call that good for now. There we go. When you're done, don't forget to save it. It's down at the bottom. Hit save. Now you'll see it says bookmarks, and it's got the different apps listed in it. And it's kind of tight and compact, so I'm going to drag this over, make it 2 columns wide. Since we've got some space up here now, I'm going to add a couple more apps. Go to plus, new item, app, add to board. We're going to edit that. We're going to set this to be deluge. Let's add another one. I'm going to make this one sab. There we go. Let's move these out of the way. Add a calendar. Once again, I'm going to expand this a bit. That looks better. We'll make the stock window a little bit bigger. We'll move that there. These are kind of in the way, and they're all kind of the same thing. So let's add a new category for that. Go to the plus, new category. We're going to name this R's. Add category. Now you'll see the R's group has been created. We can expand it. There's nothing in it. We're still in edit mode. We can drag these in there. Come on. Move this. Move that below. Come on. Stop fighting me. There we go. All right, I'm going to save this real quick. So you can see the page is kind of starting to take some shape here. So at this point, I'm going to pause it here, and we'll be back after I finish this up. All right, I'm back. Kind of got a basic page built up here. I left a couple things undone just to kind of show you how it works. These here are both integrations. I was going to integrate one for Deluge and one for SAB so that we can see what's currently being downloaded. So let's work on those real quick. Go click on the pencil to make sure you're in edit mode. Click on the three dots, edit the item, integrations. I'm going to do Deluge for this one. Hit save changes. Over here, same thing, edit. We're going to select SAB over here. Save changes. All right, now we've got the two different integrations set up here. Neither one of the applications are downloading anything at the moment, so it's got no results in here, but it'll show you the job name, the progress of it, the finish time, different information. It's kind of hard to differentiate which one is which if you don't know. If you look down here, you can see the icon for it. You can kind of tell that's a little raindrop for the Deluge. And over here is the SAB, kind of small. Something I like to do here to make it a little more noticeable, click on the dots, go back into edit mode. If you go down to advanced, you can change the border color. And I match this to the container that it's connected with. Deluge is blue, so let's go ahead and select a blue color here. For this one, we'll hit save changes. And now you can see a nice little blue border around it. Deluge is blue. This one goes with Deluge. SAB is kind of this golden yellow. Let's change this one over here to match that. Edit, advanced, color. That looks good. Hit save, save changes, and there you go. They kind of match up. So what I've done is I've added bookmarks here, which, you see me do that. You can just go click on that. It'll jump right to the app. These are the same thing. Whatever icon you're hovering over, if you click on it, it opens up that app. Date and time, I adjusted that so it's in 12-hour format, not 24-hour format. Calendar, expanded that a little bit. The calendar, you can actually go in and integrate it with Radarr and Sonarr so that it knows when new TV shows or movies are being released. It'll show it in the calendar. It's kind of nice. You have to set up the integration for it, but you basically set it up, integrate to Radarr or Sonarr, come select it here, save it, and you get little dots that show up here when something's being released. These two are already synced up. The stock one here, once again, you can edit it. You can choose whatever stock symbol you want. The interval. Weather, I set it to be Fahrenheit. So right now in Paris, it's 56.8 degrees and overcast. If you're not in edit mode, you hover over the day and it shows you more details about it. This hours category here, we can collapse it, cleans it up a little bit, or we can expand it. Something I didn't show you, let me do that real quick, is this new dynamic section here. So let's go ahead and add one of those. It's going to drop it here. For the time being, I'm going to throw these in here, a couple of these. There, we'll call that good. We'll get back out of edit mode. Well, I'm going to go in here and give it a name. Edit item. We'll just call it dynamic selection so we know what it is. Get out of edit mode. And now you'll see that this group is basically like this. You can't minimize it, can't collapse it. But it allows you to group things together without having this big R's, category across the bottom here. If you want to change the size of it, since it's dynamic, go back to edit mode, grab the corner, drag, select whatever you want. All right, scrolling down, this item down here, this large one, I've made it pretty much full screen. This is the notebook. This is all markdown language, so you can just click in here and edit things. But right now it's locked, you can't do anything with it. The top right corner of it, you'll see this little pencil icon, click onto that. Now you're in edit mode. You got options across the top here to do different things. You can insert tables, pictures, set your indents here. You can create check marks. Once you're in edit mode, you can come in here and change whatever you need to. Let's get rid of this icon, clean it up a little bit here. Let's get rid of this extra space. Got to go up one. There we go. There we go. If we wanted to add in a bulleted list here, there's already an item there. If we just go to the end of it, hit enter, it goes to the next one. Next item. Same with the bulleted lists. If you've already got one. Same with check marks. Highlighting, all that good stuff. Once you've created whatever you need to in here, you can go back to the top, hit the little disk icon, and it saves the changes. So we're going to call our home board here good for now. Let's go create a real quick mobile page. I'll show you the difference there. In the top right, you've got your options up here. These little symbols here, these arrows with little cubes in them. This allows you to switch boards. We'll click onto there. We're going to drop down and select our mobile board. Once again, starting with a blank slate. All right, to edit this one, we'll do the same thing. We'll hit the little pencil icon to get in edit mode. We'll click the plus, go new item, app, add to board. Let's add audio bookshelf here. Drop down, edit item, choose the app, save changes. And then over here, let's add another one. New item, app, and let's do, I don't know, Kapower. That sounds good. Not going to go crazy with this board, but as you can tell, the icons on here are huge. But if If you remember, this is on a mobile device, so it's going to be much thinner. They're going to be decent size to click on, to tap on. And you can always come back and adjust it if you want them bigger or smaller. Switch back to your main board, click on those 3 dots. It goes back over. Easy to switch back and forth. All right, let's add a couple more things real quick. Let's add a calendar, and we'll add the weather. New item, weather, scroll down. They both appear here. We'll configure the weather real quick. Edit. Let's do Fahrenheit, wind speed, sure. We'll leave it in Paris. Show the city, show the forecast, save. Hit the pencil icon to get out of edit mode, and then your mobile page is all set. Now that we've got these created, it's kind of boring and plain. Let's add a little bit of excitement to it and add a background to it. To do that, let's go up to our icon, our avatar up here. We'll go to your preferences. We'll go back to boards, find the board you want. Let's do them both real quick. Click on the series of 3 dots under the desktop. We'll go to settings, find background down here, expand that. Background image URL, since we've already got it in the medias, we'll just drop down, select it, save changes. Now if we go back to our title up here, the AT42, click on it, it'll take us back to our main page. And there you go. That looks a little bit better. It's got some color in the background, but it could look better. Let's go to the mobile one as well. Go back here, preferences, boards, go to the mobile, 3 dots, settings, background. Once again, drop down, select the Homarr background, save it. Go back to our home page. Let's look at the mobile page now. That's a little bit better. However, you can see the icons are kind of taking up everything and you can't see the background at all. We can adjust that, add some transparency to it. Once again, let's go back, click on our avatar up here, preferences, go back to our boards. And I'm gonna do it on both here. Let's do desktop first, back under settings, this time under appearance, the opacity here, let's drag this down to like 60%. Save changes. This icon here will take you back to your board as well. So we'll click onto there. And there you can see the results. That looks a bit better, especially with this big R's category here. It kind of takes up everything. The notebook one is still completely dark, which makes sense because if you're taking notes, you probably want to be able to see it. Calendar's kind of clear. These are all clear. Now let's go do the same thing with the mobile one. Go back to our avatar, preferences, boards, mobile, series of dots, settings, appearance, drag this down to 60%, save, go look at our board real quick. See, that looks a lot better now. In here, I'll show you the results on my cell phone. It's kind of nice, quick and easy, looks good. You can see now that the columns are much more fitting. All right, moving on. Go back to our desktop homepage. We've kind of covered everything here, what everything is, bookmarks, the different, applications, time, a couple integrations, stocks, weather, all that good stuff. For the most part, that's pretty much it. Homarr is pretty dynamic and offers lots of features. Give it a try. When you have your page built, come join us on Discord and show off your design. I'd love to see it. I'll leave the link down in the description. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, consider becoming a Patreon. Patreon members get early access to my videos, and they are both ad and sponsor free. I'll leave a link for that in the description as well. Until then, check out one of these next. And I'll see you in the next one.